गोपालो केशव रक्षमां पाहि माम् Yes, welcome all most dearest respected co-sadhakas, students and the regular attendees of this morning Upanishadic session. Great it is. May it continue, though this sankalpa is done every day, but it has to be done every day. Then only today's sankalpa will make us attend our class tomorrow. That day, every day we have to enrich our sankalpa and sankalpa shakti to be consistent on this path. There is no way. Yes, let us study like every day our glorious Shwethashwathara Upanishad. Through this Upanishad, know the self, know the glory of the self, know the result of realizing the self, know the way to realize the self and do the sadhanas that are told to realize that self, thereby get liberated from the not self. That's as simple as that. In all Upanishads, in this Upanishad too, it is the same subject. Here the Rishi is extra kind and compassionate to repeatedly guide us in this aspect. So let us give him a chance. Let us give ourselves more and more chances to get empowered, equipped in this knowledge, information, and inspiration. So, fourth chapter is the one which we have to study. In that, we will be seeing the same subject of Paramatma Jnana that is revealed to us. With Bhashyam, it is more simpler, sweet, direct, but it is our pure heart and mind that it should understand and accept and abide in this knowledge that we grow spiritually, getting that what do you call expected joy, peace, freedom more than as expected by the gurus. Like a true honest doctor, he is more displeased when the patient is not responding to his medication. So too he is more delighted when the patient is recouping and getting well. Here also the rishis, the gurus, the Lord is more excited and happy to see we grow spiritually. All guidance is from them, all doings are from our side. So maybe that way, day in and day out, while involving in this, let's grow. That guidance, let us receive. That sincerity, let us grow in. That application also, let us become more diligent, etc. So before that, our Vedic chanting, our common sense thought, Mangala Acharana Shloka Sankalpa, also our Upanishadic Parayanam. Now in the Vedic chanting, Rigveda Navama Mandalam from the 17th mantra. So 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Six of them we will see for next 11 minutes or 10 minutes. Just patiently, with all the joy, with full concentration, knowing that this is also a sadhana, knowing that this is also the blessings from our Rishi Parampara involved in it. If you have the book or the soft copy, follow the chanting. If not, just concentratedly listen. This is sacred chanting. Start. ॐ अथ वेदपारायणं ऋग्वेदः नवममण्डलम् अथ सप्तदशनुवाकादारभ्य ॐ प्रनिम्नेनेव सिन्धवो वृत्राणि भूर्णयः सोमा असुग्रमाशवः अविसुवानास इन्दवो वृष्टय पृथिवीमिव इन्द्रं सोमासो अक्षरन् अत्योर्मिर्मत्सरो मदः सोमः पवित्रे अर्षते विघ्नं रक्षांसि देवयुः आकलशेषु धावति पवित्रे परिशिच्यते उक्तैर्यज्ञेषु वर्धते अतित्री सोमरोचना रोहन्नभ्राजसे दिवम् इष्णस्यूर्यम् इष्णन् सूर्यन्न चोदयः अभिविप्रा अनूषधम् नारायण हरि ओके ओम तमुत्वा वाजिनन् नरो धीभिर्विप्रा अवस्यवः मृजन्ति देवतातये मधोर्धारामनुक्षरतीव्रः सदस्थमासदः चारुर्हृदाय पीतये 18th one परिसुभानो गिरिष्ठाः पवित्रे सोमो अक्षाः मदेषु सर्वदा असे त्वं विप्रस्त्वं कविर्मधुप्रजातमन्धसः मदेषु सर्वदा असे तव विश्वे सजोषसो देवासः प्रीतिमाशत मदेषु सर्वदा असि आयो विश्वानिवार्या वसोनि हस्तयोर्दधे मदेषु सर्वदा असे य इमे रोदसी महीसं मातरे वदोहते मदेषु सर्वदा असि पर्यो रोदसी उभे सद्यो वाजेभिरर्षते मदेषु सर्वदा असि सशुष्मी कलशेष्वा पुनानो अचिक्रदतो मदेषु सर्वदा असि 19 यत्सोमचित्रमुक्त्यं दिव्यं पार्थिवं वसो तन्नः पुनान आभर युवं हि स्तः स्वर्पति इन्द्रश्च सोमगोपते ईशानाभिप्यतन्धियः वृषा पुनान आयुषु स्तनयन्नधिबर्हिषि हरिः संयोनिमासदत् अवावशन्तधीतयो वृषभस्याधिरेतसे सूनोर्वत्सस्य मातरः कुविद्वृषण्यन्तीभ्यः पुनानो गर्भमाददत् याः शुक्रं दुहते पयः उपशिक्षापतस्तुषो प्रियसमाधेः शत्रुषु पवमानविदारयम् निशत्रोः सोमवृष्ण्यं निशुष्मं निवयस्थिर दूरे वासतो अन्धिवा प्रकविर्देववीतये व्योवारेभिरर्षते साह्वान् विश्वा अविस्मृतः सहिष्मा जरितृभ्य आवाजं गोमन्तमिन्वते पवमानः सहस्रिणो परिविश्वानि चेतसां वृषसे पवसे मति सनः सोमश्रवो विदः अभ्यर्ष बृहत् यशो मघवद्भ्यो ध्रुवं रयिम् इशं स्तोतृभ्य आभर त्वं राजेव सुप्रदो गिरः सोमा विवेशित पुनानो वह्ने अद्भुता स वह्निरप्सु दुष्टरो मृज्यमानो गभस्त्योः सोमश्चमोषु सीदति क्रीडुर्मको नमं हयुः पवित्रं सोम गच्छसे ददस्तोत्रे सुवीर्यं 21 एते धावन्तीन्दवः सोमा इन्द्राय घृष्वयः मत्सरासस्वर्विदः प्रवृण्वन्तो अभियुजः सुष्वये वरिभोविदः स्वयं स्तोत्रे वयस्कृतः पृथा क्रीडन्त इन्दव सदस्तमभ्येकमिथ सिन्धोरूर्माव्यक्षरन् एते विश्वानिवार्या पवमाना स आशत हितान सप्तयो रथे अस्मिन् पिशङ्गमिन्दवो ददाता वेनमादिशे यो अस्मभ्यमराव रुहुर्नरत्यन्नवं ददाता केतमादिशे शुक्राः पवध्वमर्णसा एत उत्ये अवीव शन्काष्टां वाजिनो अकृत सतः प्रासाविशुर्मतिम् 22 एते सोमास आशवो रथा इव प्रभाजिनः सर्गाः सृष्टा अशेहत अहेशत एते वाता इवोरवः पर्जन्यस्येव वृष्णयः अग्नेरिव भ्रमावृथा एते पूता विपश्चित सोमासो दध्याशिरः विपाव्यानशुर्धियः एते मृष्टा अमर्त्याः सस्रुवांसो न शक्रमुः शश्रमुः यक्षन्दः वधो रजः एते पृष्ठा निरोधसोर्विप्रयन्तो व्यानशुः उतेदमुत्तमं रजः तन्तुं तन्वानमुत्तममनुब्रवत आशत उतेदमुत्तमाय्यौ तन्सोमपणिभ्य आवसुगव्या निधारयः तदं तन्तुमचिक्रदः. One more, 23. सोमा अश्रुग्रमाशवो मधोर्मदस्य धारय हविविश्वानि काव्या अनुप्रत्नास आयवः पदं नवीयो अक्रमो रुचे जनन्त सूर्यं आपवमाननो वर्यार्यो अदाशु शोगयं हृदि प्रजावतीरिषः अभिसोमास आयवः पवन्ते मद्यं मदम् अभिकोशं मधुश्चुदं सोमो अर्षति धर्णसिर्दधान इन्द्रियं रसं सुवीरो अविशस्तिपाः इन्द्राय सोमपवसे देवेभ्यः सधमाद्यः इन्दो वाजं सिशाससि अस्य पीत्वा मदानामिन्द्रो वृत्राण्यप्रदे जगान जगनच्छनो. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. 23 చూసాం మనం, 24 from tomorrow. That's great, friends, for your cooperation, coordination in doing the Vedic chanting every day. In today's common sense thought, the topic discussion will be about or on ego. We all have and have to have and must have that ego. We have it. We have to have it. We must. But this ego again is of two types. One is the most liability ego, and the other one is most the asset ego. So by becoming acutely, extremely aware about our own I ego, how it is working, how it is behaving, the most difficult of the observations, of course, we have to keep on doing. And that aham observation is one of the most important necessary observations. So as said, one is the aham of the liability, where it is the self-destructive as well as the liability and the cause of the disruption and destruction of the total, whether it is the total within our family or in the whole universe. We have to become acutely conscious about it and note down that. Know also that it is the bimari, that it should not be so. Who, what, our own ego, our own individuality, how it is behaving. The ego in me is suicidal, is self destructive, is becoming an obstruction for its own growth, for its own happiness, for its own successes. We have to be very careful. I am the enemy to my own self. Then only I am, my mind and my intellect are enemies. Then only the entire outer world. Outer world is never our enemy unless our upadhis are our enemy. They too are never enemy till we ourselves are our own enemy. That we are not observing ourselves. So let our ego be not that way, our destructor, and also be in liability. When I am destructive to myself, I am destructive. When I am destructive to the world will ruthlessly destroy me or will crush me, or they will eliminate me, remove me, humiliate me, etc., etc., etc. And every time, whenever we suffer, the suffering is to the ego, and that's because of either of these two. Whether either we are self-destructive or we are troubling the total. So that ego we have to very observantly catch it. कि ये क्या हो रहा है क्या मेरे अंदर करके देखना पड़ेगा. So instead of that, we should have a positive aham. The earlier one is the arrogant ego, the selfish ego, the angry ego, the insisting ego. All these are very so much in us. In an average non-observing individual, that's what predominates. And that's why wherever you see between two people or two communities or even two nations, it is more than the clash of weapons, is it not? It is the clash of the egos leading to catastrophe, such a big destruction, isn't it? Then after that ego, then they justify. It is for my nation, it is for this, that. सारा बाद में आता है. पहले तो हम, है ना? Now the play going between the Indian head or in the American head. See that clash of the very sublime ego that's going on, isn't it? That fellow gives support to Pakistan for whatever his prejudice or jealousy about India. No, India will call Iran and then they tell, we have our sympathies with you." See, this is how very sublime the war of egos going on. Then behind that, maybe the interest for the nation. We need the oil, we have to. Big country it is, we can't afford to have that suffering. All that. I'm just giving an example what's going on in the world. So, just as be observant about our own aham. In fact, removal of this negative ego in one language is said to be the highest tapasya. Aham apetakam nija vibhanakam mahadidam tapaha. Highest of the tapasya it is said. Then the other side is what? We have to have another ego. A decent ego, a disciplined ego, a duty oriented ego, a responsible ego. Beautiful it is. That is what we have to consciously create. And that is the ego with self respect also. The earlier one is arrogant, mischievous, doing wrong, mischievous, and then self guilty ego it is. कि मेरे से क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, मैं क्यों गलती कर रहा हूँ, मैं बार बार मिस्टेक क्यों होता है मेरे से, क्यों मुझे दुनिया में सबके सामने झुकना पड़ रहा है. दिस इज वॉट द गिल्टी ईगो, द अदर वन. हियर an ego which is duty oriented, which is very disciplined, which is very dedicated, which is responsible, that is the individuality full of self respect, full of self confidence. Such ego consciously an asset to itself, such ego consciously can evolve itself. And such ego is a beautiful part of the total. Wherever that ego is there, adding to the beauty, adding to the grandeur, adding to the nobility, adding to the joy of the total. That conscious without observing, we will not know where we are going and what is right. And without knowing these two things, what is where we are going wrong, we cannot eliminate them, avoid them. And what is correct, we can't. Very, very sublime job it is. Very difficult even to apprehend or understand. Takes lot of time. Till that time, we are only lost in our own ego, not knowing that we are lost in it. And we are losing every moment the battle too. It's very tough, very difficult to observe. पता ही नहीं चलता. So, therefore, an ego which is positive, an ego which is responsible, that is what we have to consciously develop in us. So, in that responsible, duty oriented ego, two things we talk about today. First one is what? Always to clear off the obligations or clear off the debts, clear off the mutual contribution उनमें से हमारे तरफ से. Let our ego be always contribution oriented to the total. In that contribution, my dharma to the world. In that contribution, my seva to the world. It won't happen just like that. We have to consciously develop that, and it's very, very necessary. The biggest reason for our suffering is the total is troubling us. The total can be anybody other than me. That's because I am more selfish in my ego at the cost of the total. I must know this. I am troubled by the total for the reason that I am extra selfish at the cost of the total. This is very delicate thing to understand. And how to avoid? First thought, wherever I go, I am an individual to be an asset to the world, to the total. With that drushti, everywhere, what is my duty and what is my extra service which I can do as permitted, as acceptable. Readiness. Everywhere our service may not be welcome. Like your children, they don't want your service. They want your money. That's all. That service only they want. They don't want your advices and other things. Papa, paise dekhe chup ho jao. That's what they want. Everywhere we may not be required. Though you know better, you are kind, you want to do, but they don't want to receive. Further, there are many other subtle reasons that we need to discuss. But itna to pata, I'll do it. Other than that, the extra thing called as service. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. So, first thing we were discussing, some interruption in the connection. I don't know why it happens. Okay, first clear the obligation for the totality of doing our duty and fulfilling our responsibility and little extra service so that we are always welcomed. There is always goodwill towards us, towards the world, from the world. If not, at least they don't dislike us, hate us, or find us a thing to be removed. है ना ऐसा वाला attitude. And that's expressed through the facial expressions of a gentle smile, the physical movements also, and then taking initiative in doing the things with all delicacy, with all maturity. Sometimes we will be misunderstood if we go to serve where we are not called for. So, with all those awarenesses, get into that maturity that I am conscious that I am an asset to the world, not the liability. That type of individuality. And there is no ego anywhere. Without ego, that feeling that I have to be an asset to the world. Ego without ego. Individuality without the ego. Once this is achieved, obviously, the second aspect is I have to be the ego to focus on myself. What is that ego I have to focus on myself is this I am given right now, these are the equipments. Then what I have to do? Be attentive. I should slowly, steadily know and learn the art of commanding, commanding, commanding every of my own equipments, my own personality layers, which is again big thing, wherein we have to have all the wisdom, all the facilities, all the resources, all the planning, and execute the plannings. Like I, the ego, has to command my sharira. It's a big thing. We all know as we study Vedanta, the prarabdha is there for the sharira, etc. Yet, whatever is in my control, I should be able to do the commanding of my sharira. Commanding is what? Giving it instructions, giving it what it needs, and then making use of it with all the repairs that are required whenever it is. That's called commanding my sharir. An ego, an individuality, me cannot be careless with my own body, which is giving me an abode to stay. How many of us neglect our own body on the disguise of I am a spiritual seeker, कुछ भी हो जाए मेरे शरीर को मैं केयर नहीं करता. If one is that extreme, the other extreme is what? Only pampering the sharira. Even though one calls oneself a spiritual seeker. Understood? Both of them are not correct, both extremes. That's why the word used is commanding. Wherein I maintain body, I take care of the body, like the commander commanding his own battalion or whatever the all the needs requirements of them are taken care, and they are also well disciplined and trained, then they are utilized. That's called as the commander doing with the group which is under his command. In the same way, my sharir. I must be aware of it. What is its nature? What is its assets? What are its liabilities? What if given it is safe, secure? What should be avoided to give it? Isn't it? Continuously be aware of it, command it. So too commanding our own indriyas. As an ego, I have to have command on my own senses. It is the other way around now. The deha indriyas are commanding me, the ego, and they don't have dimag. They only have habits, and those habits are destructive. And this ego is a slave to them. Therefore, every time this ego is suffering. Because not only it is not evolving, but it is devolving because it has become the slave to them. All this because I have not understood that I, the individual, have to command them. होना चाहिए मेरे इंद्रिया मेरे कमांड में. What time, what is required, give it. Not required, should not give. That's it. Both from the health standpoint, from the decency, dignity standpoint, more from the Adhyatmika sadhana standpoint. I must command my indriyas. More importantly, the next one is the mana. Me, I am the ego. I am given the mana. In that mana, the vrittis are there. How can the vrittis are coming as they want and commanding me the other way around? The mind says, "So jao, so jayenge." Are, is it the time to sleep? Our mind says, "Don't sleep till 2 baje, 1 baje, watch the TV." And we obey it. See that? Is it not that way? As it is said yesterday in our Tulsi Ramayana, that the mind is making us a monkey and making us dance to its own tunes. कल हम तुलसी रामायण में देख रहे थे ना, how the people are made to be monkey to dance to the tunes of the kamanas etc. कलयुग के जो लक्षण है बता रहे थे तुलसीदास जी. So this mind has to be commanded. We have to be very acute. It is not that the thought has come and that thought forced us to act at the body and senses level, and then we got the reaction from the world of getting kicks. Then we are regretting and guilty. यार मैंने ऐसा क्यों किया? No, it should be I must tell my mind at this time this should be the thought and emotion. And this thought or emotion should express through by expressing instruments of indriyas at this moment. इतना हमको कमांड करना है. I have to command my mana, isn't it? Think about it. Its emotions, its all responses to the world. अब किसी पे हम कभी ध्यान ही नहीं दिया हमने इस पे. Then comes the intellect also. कि I must command my intellect that which information is worthy to gather and how long and how much. Which information is not required. There, everything is information, but who told everything is required? Lot of information right now we carry is not only a load, it is also not allowing the positive information of knowledge, etc., to be carried because there is no space. Third is what? This information unwanted is prompting us to have unwanted projects taken up, which are not in line with Dharma, not in line with our service to world, not in line with our spirituality at all. Extra information. One ego has to be very sensitive. Our ego, my ego, that ye wala information with intellect is going to cause only harm, especially when we become sadhaka. Because information doesn't remain as it is. It does its own job of manipulation, thinking, then assessment, etc. Then it precipitates as some desire only. Best is don't have information. है ना? Like innocently I'm sitting at my home doing my duty and sadhana. Suddenly somebody told me, चल यार घूमने जाते हैं, नया नया कुछ दुकान खुले हैं. Then I go to that. I go only to just see as an information. But is it not after seeing it? How many things appear to be necessary, required, therefore desire in me, then the agitation, then how to procure it? अगर वो information ही नहीं होता, इसलिए in our childhood we were not told or exposed to any information extra. तुम्हें क्यों चुप बोलते थे वो? That's why we are innocent but also safe. Now people are very intelligent because everything they know, and that knowing and intelligence is destroying them. Because after that you cannot control the gurgling of the desires, है ना? The doings prompted by the desires of all adharma papa. कंट्रोल नहीं हो सकता उसके बाद. School, college, कोई है तो ट्यूशन, then our exams, then any other duties, कोई family functions, and go into a temple, celebrate the festivals. Only this much we were to. बाकी कुछ नहीं ज्यादा पता. अभी children, everybody knows all the nonsense more. Then chip भर गया उस बेवकूफ information से. There's no chance for the shastras, the other things. Isn't it? As much we have to not allow our intellect to have wrong information, so much I, the ego, is to be responsible to have the positive information in the intellect, the spiritual information, the truth information, the reality information, the bondage and liberation, the what do you call them, their definitions. Are these informations pakka in us, in my intellect? In fact, this is what determines me to be आध्यात्मिक साधना. Information ठीक है ही नहीं हमारे पास. Without information, how can there be convictions, strong decisions that have to be spiritual, that I have to do this, that? So which is what we are commanding? है कि नहीं? I have to be such individuality. And the ultimate of the commanding of my own ego is what? Commanding my own ego. What does it means? What? Know that, be attentive. We are, though indispensable, but very, very a tiny part of the whole universe. No, nothing extra, nothing special. One part of the total, that's it. That ego that I am very a part of the total. Don't say I'm nothing also, then you become negatively responsible. मैं कुछ नहीं इसलिए मैं कुछ करूंगा नहीं. At the same time, don't think that you are everything also. We are only a tiny thing which is something. A tiny thing which is something. And that also, till a particular level, I engage myself with my ego to do all what is said so far. Little later level में, higher level में, so miraculous transformation should have to happen in my life, in our life. What is it, Recognizing that at this upadhi level, we are only an instrument in the hands of the makers of the world, the molders of the destiny of the world, whether you call them as the Lord or our rishis. They are the ones, the masters, who are molding the destiny of the total in a positive direction. In that effort of that, they are struggling so much because of the oppositions from so many egos, of which we were also a part till yesterday. From today, we are becoming an instrument in their hands with so much knowledge, maturity, more than all of that, with total surrender, that we allow them, O Guru, function through me in the modification, beautification of or transformation of this universe from the liability to the asset. Such person he knows, like the case of Kagabosundi in the evening class. Garuda has specific ego that मैं भगवान विष्णु का वाहन हूँ. With that ego, he again had doubt on Rama only. That how come Rama playing like a child is he really Rama? But Kagabusandi, observe it. He is an ego, but expressing the Rama through him. The Rama Katha through him. The Rama Acharya, Rama Guru Parampara. In the same way, if you see Puja Gurudev, such great masters, what are they? They have an individuality which is not an individuality which is with the Upadhi wanting to do for the Upadhi something. No, I am totally now empty of myself. I am there with nothing mine, with nothing me, nothing for me. मेरा कुछ नहीं है, मेरे लिए कुछ नहीं है, मैं सब कुछ उनके लिए हूँ, वो ही मेरे द्वारा जो कुछ करना है, let them do. This is the highest of the ego, wherein we are so conscious, totally surrendered, that the infinite Paramatma Tattva is fully expressing through us in the Kalyana, in the Shreyas of the world. That's our ultimate goal. And in that, our that achievement, as an individual, our welfare is taken care by the Lord. That's the meaning of Yoga Kshemam Vaham. Kshema is all safety, security. Yoga is all abilities, powers. For the Lord to express through us. The other yoga is what? We will slowly, while becoming instrument in the hands of total, we start becoming qualified for the revelation of that substratum which is behind, beyond the entire drama of the world. It's called as Atmajnana Brahmajnana. So that is the ultimate ego. That's an ego without ego. That's an individuality, not an individuality. The anubhava is aham rupena. That's why we call as ego or individuality. But there's no ego like as we have. That's called as sarvam ahamasmi vada, sarvatmya bhava, which from last 2 days we are seeing in our evening Brahma Jnanavali Mala. From today, those very beautiful sublime slokas will be studied. Powerful. Asangoham, asangoham, punah punah, Sachidananda Rupoham, Ahamevaham Avya. Powerful, powerful. I think each sloka I may tell or study three days. Those 22 days can take 3 months, 2 months. Big text it is, beautiful text, very sublime. So therefore, today's our discussion is be aware of the aham in me. Know that it has two possibilities. One is a liability to oneself and the world. Another is an asset to oneself and the world. A liability ego is that which is identified with the upadhis, slave to the upadhis, self-destructive, creating chaos in the world. By doing adharma, by doing papa, by doing kukarma, by doing dushkarma, going against the shastras, all Kali dharmas, again we are seeing in evening Tulsi Ramayana class. The positive ego, asset ego is what? That which is responsible, that which is duty oriented. And in that responsibility and duty, that ego should know one, I have to be an asset to the world. How? Only two things, my dharmas and my seva. Dharma, never give up. Do it as we are studying in Gita. Seva, as and when the occasion opportunity comes, do it. With that, the I of me in the world is safe, secured. The world will not crush me. This should be a habit wherever I go. What's my duty? What can be my service to the world? Not that what others do service to me, what is their duty towards me. ये छोड़ ही दो, that others should have the akal and we should have that luck that others recognize their duty towards us. Like what you realize your duty towards me. I cannot command. It is your maturity. I can only think about what is my duty to you. That study and explain the Shastras and give whatever the required suggestions or inspirations from the Shastra. That's it. You may not duty. Whether you reciprocate or not, how can I command and get frustrated and trouble you? You are not matured enough to respond. So by forcing you, I'll make you miserable. I make myself also miserable. Like if the children are not matured to know their responsibility towards parents, then the parents insist to them, both of us suffer. Knowing one's duty, responsibility to anybody here, in this case, the example towards elders, parents, gurus, it's a maturity. It comes in time, it's not accidental, it cannot be imposed. Like my responsibility to the country. my responsibility to Sanatana Dharma, my responsibility to the Shruti Mata, Rishi Parampara, my responsibility to the ultimate truth. To know that, I have to mature. It's not so quick. It cannot. It will be reaction inside and outside. So in this way, I have done my duty outside and I have become responsible there by whatever, whenever required, I do service. Then we were talking about I, the ego, should be having the duty and responsibility towards oneself. In that oneself, each of the personality layer has to be commanded. In that commanding, understanding it totally, its pros and cons are positive and negatives, then see to it that whatever their required minimum that's given, beyond that, how best it has to be utilized for what purpose. Each of the equipment. And you and I, for our, the purpose is only Adhyatmika. Those who are not Adhyatmika, up to this point, the things are common. The only difference is for them, the goal may be something. A फाइनेंशियल गोल और ए वर्ल्डली गोल वो उनका हो सकता है उस गोल उनका वो है तो दे विल यूज ऑल दिस मैनेजमेंट फॉर दैट फॉर यू एंड आई आर गोल इज परमात्मा सो ऑल आवर managed commanded equipments we will use for that purpose and while doing so the highest and greatest commanding of ourselves is our own ego commanded and what is the commanding that knowing that we are a required very tiny part of the whole cosmos or universe. So, we, while performing ourselves, become an instrument in the hands of total so much that we are not hindrance for the flow of the total to express through us. At that time, the aham and mama are zero. That's the meaning of empty thyself and allow him to sing through you. Become a flute in the hands of the Lord is that. Isn't it? And it has to be done. The अभ्यास हर दिन करना पड़ता है मुझे मेरा और मेरे लिए करके कुछ नहीं होना चाहिए मेरे द्वारा जिसके लिए मेरे को यहाँ बनाया गया वही काम होता रहे let me not poke with my extra unwanted ego and my selfishness in the flow of the divine which has to happen through me the divine made each one of us for his purpose. Let your purpose be fulfilled through me, O Lord. Let I and my purpose, which are meaningless to me, which are hindrance to you, may they never pop up even once. At that level, all upadhis are being used by the Lord for serving the world, and I get merged in the total Paramatma Anubhuti. जब परमात्मा अनुभूति is openly available for us, why we seek the अनुभूति with the upadhis of the temporary binding sukha? अब इतना उपनिषद पढ़ने के बाद तो इतना क्लैरिटी होना चाहिए ना अदर देन परमात्मा अनुभूति I am not interested in the anubhuti with any of the upadhis for which when I go, it's a trouble to me. It's a trouble to the totality. Like a group are taken by a group leader for a particular project. तो सर बीच में एक एक बंदा कोई शॉपिंग के लिए जा रहा है कोई होटल में खाने को जा रहा है अपना ईगो एंड सेल्फिश पर्पस then the total group leader gets disturbed he cannot achieve what he has to like we have done it so many times our spiritual camps yatras we do 200 200 people we take so उसमें all of them are seated in the bus one or two fellows are loitering here and there disturbs the whole thing कहाँ गया रे मतलब he has his own selfish project है ना we have shown them देखो these four mandirs we have to see all of them have seen and come this fellow got an extra information this is the fifth mandir थोड़ा दूर पे है मैं जा रहा हूँ मैं जाके आया हूँ he will justify it मंदिर ही तो गया हूँ अरे तो you are a part of total no in that agenda it is not there that is the ego and then once twice we see then we become stronger to tell them if anybody like that then please get out of this group you are more selfish you are not part of a total तो अपना अपना गस बस ये लेकर कार लेकर अकेले जहां चाहिए घूमो isn't it we don't have that way individually to gomo opportunity in this universe remember that we are a part of total we have to be in line with total only जैसे कोई आप मंदिर तिरुपति या वैष्णो देवी जा रहे हो तो यू आर इन द लाइन आगे लोग हैं, पीछे भी लोग हैं, बाएं भी दाएं हैं, मिलकर जाना होता है. In the whole universe also, we have the universal projects that are happening. So we cannot have our own selfish project. Actually, this is the highest knowledge to digest which 10 lives of listening to Vedanta we need. At that time, then I remove, drop my ego. Me, मैं और मेरा तोरा तय नहीं होता. All of us were totality. Isn't it? That person, wherever he is there. If it's family, family is the important. If it's an organization is important. If he's in a nation, the total nation is important. If he's in the universe is important. Whole globe is important. That's how his vision. Where there is no ego. Actually, you can see in them. Aham thoda bhi dikhta nahi hai. अब aham ही नहीं है, where is mama? When there's aham and mama are not there, then there is no bondage. There is no bondage at all. He, as an individual, realizes his oneness with the total, and through him, universal good happens. And whatever the equipment he has got, if the spiritual equipment hai, so spiritual good happens to the world. If he has got the worldly knowledge, then that good happens to the world through him. That's how the great scientists, great doctors, where they are instruments in the hands of the Lord to help the world in those particular fields. There's no ego, there's no selfishness. That doctor, see, हर दिन 300-400 पेशेंट्स को उनके द्वारा मेडिकेशन होता है. There are some eye doctors. हर दिन 5-6 के हिसाब से in the service of 30 years. So 1 lakh eye operations he has done. See the mammoothness of it. See his contribution in alienating the ophthalmological problem to so many. He is an instrument in the hands of the Lord. है ना? If he has got ego selfishness in it, he says मैं नहीं करूंगा, वैसे नहीं होगा, मुझे ज्यादा पैसा चाहिए. Then he gives more pain than vision. याद रखो बाबा. So today's whole discussion is a tiny part, 2% we discussed about the ego. The other aspect of it, this serpent ego with all its poisonous fumes of selfishness, at every moment, how it is hooding and troubling one sense of the world, that's a big, deeper subject to study and become aware of it. Some other time we'll see that. So, mindful about our individuality, where we have to be attentive, show our responsibility, duty, work, and where we have to just become surrendered. All of that we must know. May the Lord give us this ability that I am in the flow of the total, never harming the movement of the total because of my special individuality or ego or selfishness. Beautiful it is. Realize करते ही ये कि मैं टोटल में एक हूँ, इतना बोझ निकल जाता है. Otherwise, we are carrying the whole load of the world. Either we want to use the world for us or we want to serve the world. Both are carrying the load of the world only. Who are we to serve? The Lord will serve through us. Must become an instrument in his hands. I serve is also God. He is using me. That's it. For that only he made me. तो मैं कहा मैं को मौका दिया, then all suffering starts. Thank you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om 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 Sahanavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Garvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः एरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याता सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् ॐ गुरुपुङ्गव पुङ्गव केतनते ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदाचार्येभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्य बोधेन मुक्ति सनातन धर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्वाध्यात्मिक प्रगति सनातन धर्म संस्थापकानां निरंतर दिग्विजयः राम मंदिरवत् समस्त मंदिरादीनां पुनर्वाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रु समूल शाश्वत निर्मूलन पूर्वक वैदिक हैंदव संस्कृतेः धर्म मोक्ष पुरुषार्थाणां भारतवर्षे विश्वे सुसंप्रतिष्ठा अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयः हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थमनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये कृष्ण यजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदाद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे ओम नित्यानन्दं निराधारं निखिलाधारमव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहम् चतुर्थोऽध्यायः फ्रेंड्स chant from the fifth mantra 5 6 7 ॐ अजामेकां लोहितशुक्लकृष्णां बह्वीः प्रजाः सुजमानां स्वरूपाः अजो हेकोजुषमाणोऽनुशेते जहात्येनां भुक्तभोगामजोन्यः द्वासुपर्णा सयुजा सखाय समानं वृक्षं परिशस्व जाते तयोरन्यः पिप्पलं स्वादुवत्ति नश्नन् अन्यो अविचाकशैति समाने वृक्षे पुरुषो निमग्नः अनीशया शोचति मुह्यमानः जुष्टं यदा पश्यत्यन्यमीशम् अस्य महिमानमिति वीतशोकः. Yes, friends. Now the study of 14th mantra with Bhashya almost done. Today is our 500th day of this class without break, and before that the other so many days other Upanishads also we went on studying earlier. In our Gita class also today is 300th day. So, 3 Shatak, 5 Shatak. Mantra is, I am chanting 14th mantra. Sukshmati sukshmam kalilasya madhye vishwasya srashtaram anekarupam vishwasyaitam pariveshtitaram jnatva shivam shantim atyantam eti. This mantra, with all due respects and attentiveness and application, every word and therefore all sentences, therefore total shloka, we have to digest. Million rupee worthy are each of these mantras as regards the Adhyatmika vision is concerned. May we find its importance this way and value these mantras, revere them, respect them, allow them to reveal to us, and let us revel in them all the time. बस इन मंत्रों में revel करना ही आध्यात्मिकता है. Nothing else is important. Okay. Now, sukshmati sukshma means it is subtler than the subtlest in its being existence. सूक्ष्मता in existence. इससे सूक्ष्म और कोई नहीं. So all are sthula. The Mula Prakriti is Sukshma. This Paramatma Tattva is Sukshmati Sukshma. Meditate on it, contemplate on it. Whatever tangible, seeable through my Indriyas and through my Mana in Jagrat Swapna, all of them are Sthula. The Karana of all of them, the Avyakta Avyakruta Mula Prakriti is called Sukshma. Paramatma Tattva is more Sukshma than that. First. Second is Kalilasya Madhye. Is hidden or not becoming conceivable to us because of the Kalila. Kalila is the avidya tat karya, we are lost in it. It's like what? Just 1 kilometer only, the airport or the railway station where I have to catch the flight or train. But I am caught up in the traffic jam. In the typical Indian scenario, unless you start 3-4 hours before, घर से एयरपोर्ट 4 घंटे, फ्रॉम द एयरपोर्ट टू द डेस्टिनेशन विच इज 3000 किलोमीटर सिर्फ 2 घंटे. So you are jammed. In the same way, we are all jammed in Kalila. Therefore, within the Kalila, that Paramatma Tattva which is there, neither we are able to listen about it, nor understand, nor comprehend, nor make him as goal, neither work for him. Which is said in the Taittiriya Upanishad in this Bhasha that what is called Medhaya Pihitaha. What is a Medha there? The worldly information, worldly knowledge, and therefore worldly enchantments, worldly goals. In that whole Medha Shakti of the mind, utilized for the world, the self, to know which this Medha Shakti is given, is never attended to at all. Simple, no? What we have come as a human being to do and achieve, to know the self. Whole day, other than that, everything we do. That is the meaning of Medhaya Pitaha. That is the meaning of Kalilasya Madhya. Means the Kalila which is created and sustained and maintained by us, Madhya, within that it is hidden. And that B2B bomber we have to throw to break all the shells. New and clear re-actor, nuclear reactor. So the B2B bombers are the Bhakti and Brahmajnana. Isn't it? Then ईरान इसका नाम है. Then ये देश का USA, ये सब को आप ना स्पिरिचुअली भी माउंट कर सकते हैं. द यूएन इज अननोन, हमको नहीं पता वो है किस लिए, पता नहीं किसी को. Anybody can do anything. So that yesterday's bombing by US, B2B on that, whatever the three places of nuclear, whatever the reactor places, दे तो कहते हैं कि हमने तो तोड़ फोड़ दिया, दिस फेलो से हमने ऑलरेडी निकाल लिया वहां से, समवेयर एल्स विल मेक द बॉम्ब. अब क्या चल रहा है बाहर? सेम विथ इन अस आल्सो, कलिलस्य मध्य. And naturally these fellows have so much of fanaticism about their religion that they are ready to kill everyone for their religion to remain. Thereafter, naturally, they will kill themselves also, because killing instinct cannot go till you are killed. That instinct was there in Yadavas, where they were created only to kill Rakshasas. But that killing instinct was so much that it will kill the good people later on. तो और भगवान कृष्ण ने क्या कहा? तुम म्यूचुअली लड़के तुम खत्म हो जाओ. एंड दे फॉट विथ ईच अदर, दे हैव गॉन. दो तीन अभी है उत्तर प्रदेश में तंग कर रहे. You understood the killing instincts? Why we are saying all that? Kalilasya madhye. So sukshmati sukshmam, subtler than mula prakriti. Kalilasya madhye, mula prakriti, its disturbance, expressing as trigunas. In the trigunas, jnanatmakata, kriyatmakata, dravyatmakata. In that entire drama, we are lost. We are jammed in traffic. We are not able to catch the flight for that Paramatma Tattva. What is the flight for the Paramatma Tattva? Booking the ticket, going there, putting our luggage there, check in, then boarding. We are all not doing at all. Spiritual flight के लिए सब जो करना है कहाँ कर रहे हैं? We don't even come to class regularly. We don't have the book in front of us. We don't know which mantra, what's the meaning of it. In that, what is the nature of the truth explained, what is the sadhana explained in that. These are all called as up to boarding the flight. Then I'll realize that self alone, for that I become introverted. That is a taking off without any snag. Technical. In last 15 days, 20 snags were found in 20 flights. डर लग रहा है अभी फ्लाइट में जाना है कि नहीं. Second word is Kalyasya Madhye. Be attentive to catch. The third one is Viswasya Srashtaram. Whatever the world we see, he is the creator. Underline this point and understand it with all the background knowledge which we have heard in this and other Upanishads earlier. है. For anything to create, the material is required, the wisdom is required, the sankalpa is required. So the material is Paramatma only, wisdom is Paramatma only, the sankalpa bhi Paramatma ka hai. So therefore he is the Srashta. That sankalpa shakti of him is called as Maya Shakti. With that, he himself is expressing as the world. That's why Aneka Rupa. Understand these two words? Vishwasya Srashtaram and Aneka Rupa means he has created the world. Means what? He himself appearing in another Aneka Rupa of the world. Therefore, what is Srishti? Paramatma appearing in many forms, not becoming or creating. Remove the word creation from now onwards. If you are Vedantic student, only say appearance. It helps a lot. Because if the world is created, it should be created from what? From Paramatma. So after Paramatma created of the world, is the Paramatma still there? He cannot be, because the milk is created, curd is created of the milk, milk is no more there. If the Paramatma is not there, then you cannot achieve him because he is not there. Only when you achieve him, there is moksha. So moksha can never come. Therefore, no sadhana can be done. So no need of studying Shastra, no need to become spiritual, get lost in the world. Therefore, Paramatma cannot become the world, should not become the world, cannot create the world, should not create the world, can appear as the world. है ना? From the Karana, the gold, the ornaments are not created, they just appear. Otherwise, gold is not there thereafter. So, this is the meaning of Vishwasya Sashtaram and Aneka Rupam, dono ko samajh lo. The next line is what? Vishwasya Ekam Pariveshtitaram. It is our sadhana here. This is like the first mantra of Ishavasya. Ishavasyam idagam sarvam. What do you mean by Ishavasyam idagam sarvam? Whatever you are seeing as idam idam idam, you permeate that with your sadhana, that all of that is Ishvara. And जैसे the jadugar keeps 10 things. Then he puts a cover on it. Then he does this. Then removes the cover, 10 things disappear. In the same way, by covering the whole world with the Ishvara Bhavana, we have to see that the world of names and forms disappear in giving reality to them. They may appear for Vyavahara, but reality uska chala jana chahiye. That's the meaning of their Ishavasyam. Is a sadhana. ईश्वर के द्वारा पूरे जगत को तुम व्याप्त करो. It is not the meaning that the whole jagat is permeated by Ishvara. No. Like Matrudevo Bhava, Pitudevo Bhava is never the meaning is not that the mother is God or father is God. No, that is not the meaning. The meaning is you become a person who considers mother as goddess and father as God. Tvam Matrudevo Bhava. That's the meaning means you become such a person who considers the mother as God. It is never said mother is God there or father is God. No. You be a person to see them God as God. So here also Ishavasya means what? On Paramatma you have projected the Jagat. No, in the Jagat projected, you project Paramatma and reject the Jagat. Here also Vishwasya Ekam Pariveshtitaram. He is already there, one substratum. Now from the substratum standpoint, see the whole Vishwa is him only. Give more weightage and value to this wisdom rather than that Ishvara seen in so many forms. Ishvara is seen in so many forms. Don't give more importance to those forms. Only utility value usko do bas. Vyavahara value. Other than that, go immediately to the substratum. That all of them are he only. Isyasya ekam pariveshtitaram. Like anybody, your family members, neighbors, whatever the relation, neighbor, he asked for it, you gave it. Immediately, the Lord only in the form of that neighbor. The driver, you commanded, why, take le jao mujhe. And you sat in the car, immediately the next thought, in the form of this driver, that Lord only, that Paramatma. That's the meaning of Vishwasya Ekam Pariveshtita. ऐसा करते 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 the Vyavahara remains only as Vyavaharic value. It won't gather the reality value to totally occupy our mind. And because of this practice, our attention on the reality, our samskaras about the reality grow. Then we focus on that one who is He. He is only experienced as Satchitanand. So Vishwasya Ekam Pariveshtitaram, that's why Jnatva. Always remember, knowing Paramatma can never be other than being Paramatma. Is not an object. Jnatva, having known him, Shivam is the most auspicious, Shantim Atyantam Ete. You have relaxed. When you know him as yourself, As we just now saw in the common sense thought, that I and mine I have given up to the Lord. He is functioning through me. What about me? I am relaxed. See, with all his vigorous activities done, Hanumanji is still relaxed because the Lord is working through me. समझदार है कि नहीं? That's why a person more wisdom is more surrendered. More surrendered is more capable of doing many things, and more capacities to do many things is more relaxed. Do you go our Prime Minister and all? Totally surrendered. Therefore, so many activities happening at one side and absolutely relaxed at another side. The other fellows with more and more ego and not allowing the law to express, who have got their own personal projects, etc., like the US Trump and all, Prime Minister President. उसको अपने पर्सनल इतना इतना है, always worried, anxious, tensed, frustrated, and in that taking wrong decisions and getting oppositions from inside and outside. इसको impeach कर दो. अब people are raising the voice, isn't it? See, you will die tomorrow, but what you have done, what are its consequences for a long time to the world and to the nation? You must know it. You cannot remain as a black spot in the history, no? Then take the majority's opinion and all, and say that it is majority's opinion. Not don't say that it's mine. You cannot be. You are elected on behalf of the total, no? Not at the cost of total. इस तरह जो अपने egocentric होते हैं ना, वो फिर अलग होते हैं. Now in our Indian case, he says I am elected by the whole country. So country का सेवा मुझे करना है. So I have no my ego. So the totality what my country needs, that expressing through me. So why I have to be tensed and worried? It's a beautiful expression, huh? It's beyond intellectual comprehension. Not you cannot easily understand it just like that. बहुत सोचना पड़ता है उसके लिए. So that's the meaning of विश्वस्य सृष्टारम अनेक रूपम विश्वस्य एकम परिवेष्टितारम ज्ञात्वा शिवम अत्यंत शांति means this one. अत्यंत शांति. There is no even an iota of tension. टेंशन किसको होता है? जिसको ईगो है. अब जिसको ईगो नहीं है क्या टेंशन है? जो करना है मेरे द्वारा हो रहा है, उसका रिजल्ट जो होना है हो रहा है. ना अहम है उसमें, परमात्मा इज फंक्शनिंग थ्रू मी. न मम है उसमें, परमात्मा जो चाहता है वही हो रहा है. सी द अमाउंट ऑफ शांति इन दैट पर्सन, that gaining that shanti by becoming an instrument in the hands of the Lord in doing outer work and inside identifying with Him is the highest achievement. The beauty of this mantra, you see. This with Bhashyam also we have seen yesterday. आज उसका दोबारा पढ़ना हो गया. अब jump into 15वां मंत्र. Only संबंध भाष्य today. अध्ययनम tomorrow. परस्य साक्षी रूपेण अवस्थितत्वम् सनकादिभिर्ब्रह्मादिदेवैश्च अधिकारी पुरुषैः अपि आत्मदया प्राप्यत्वम् साधन चतुष्टयादि युताम् अस्मदादीनां मोक्ष सिद्धिं च आह. Aha means said in this next mantra. What is said are these three things. So Shankara Bhagavan is becoming very conscious and feeling the necessity of giving the Avatarika Sambandha Bhashya to every mantra. In this, he is first only telling us in this mantra what are the contents. Then we study the mantra. Then the mantra we study in the Bhashya. Therefore, the contents are made to remember three times. We are told about it three times. So, तीन बार हमसे repeat करवा रहे हैं, saying that this is more than my country Bhashya. What you have to understand is more important there. इसलिए तीन बार उसको पढ़ो. अमंद भाष्य में पढ़ो, मंत्र में पढ़ो, मुख्य भाष्य में पढ़ो कि क्या वहां कह रहे हैं, और वर्ब एटम पूरा उसको डाइजेस्ट करो. लाइक वी हैव सीन नाउ the earlier mantra, how complete it is. Sukshmati Sukshmam, Kalilasya Madhye, then Vishwasya Sashtaram, then Aneka Rupam, then Vishwasya Ekam Pariveshtitaram, then Shivam, then Jnatva, then Atyantam Shantimeti. See how each of the word were so complete. We try to understand. That has to become our own and remain permanent. The next mantra also, three things it talks about. So what are those three things and what is the mantra? All of that we'll see tomorrow. We'll just make one chanting of it. ॐ स एव काले भुवनस्य गोप्ता विश्वादिवा सर्वभूतेषु गूढः यस्मिन् युक्ता ब्रह्मर्षयो देवताश्च तमेवं ज्ञात्वा मृत्युपाशान्श्छिनत्ति. Beautiful. Thank you for this opportunity, my respected friends. May the divinity express through you. May we all experience that divine. Let us study Gita for some time. Please join in 2 minutes.